Welcome back to another Ghost Recon Breakpoint challenge. This is challenge number 3. We're taking on an extreme wolf base and we've got some pretty hefty restrictions. We're only allowed to use an unsuppressed 1911 fired from the hip, which is pretty crazy. And we're not allowed to use Sixth Sense, Slim Shadow or Close and Personal either. So it really is a test of stealth, pistol usage in CQC and a healthy dose of explosives. We're going to be running the Panther class. Obviously for cloak and run, it's a great defensive ability to reset the base if you're spotted. Cloaking spray is great, in the shadows for stealth, swift steps for movement speed, not too worried about silent death because we're not suppressed anyway. We are going to be running Pistolero, explosives expert, and we're going to grab some extra range from ballistic advantage. As far as gear goes, we're stacking as much stealth and technique cooldown as we can get our hands on. Okay guys, to start off we're going to drone the 2 drone operators and the sniper, followed by the 2 grenade launcher guys. The reason for that being is those are probably the most dangerous guys in the place, mainly because they are either A, ranged, or B, firing wasp drones at us and they really hurt. So we're going to get those out of the way. Like so. And now we're going to sneak into this bunker up in front of us here. Switch to night vision so we can easily spot the guy if he's sort of walking around, because it can be quite hard to see into those rooms. There he is, and we'll take him out to some CQC. So far no one's found the bodies of anyone we've killed. So we're just going to pop around here and take a look at these other bunkers. Okay, the base is starting to get alerted now, so we'll mark a few more people that if we can find them, kill them if they're here, because quite a few guys patrol down here. And now we're going to leave some mines down this hallway here, so that when the base does fully kick off and someone does come down to try and investigate, then there's a nasty surprise waiting for them. Remember, we're not running Sixth Sense on this build, so we don't really have a way of marking enemies unless we've specifically sighted them, so being flanked is a real problem, and that was the cause of quite a few wipes before we got this pattern down. So here I just get lucky. I accidentally fired that intel grenade off, but it just so happens to uncover the guy waiting in the next room, which otherwise I would have probably walked right past him. So I'm just trying to figure out how to engage him here and engage him, but actually miss the guy that's standing in the shadow just in front of me. So I hear his voice here, nearly crap myself, and managed to CQC him before he gets the shot off. But then I noticed that someone's at the door, so things are pretty quickly getting out of control here, so I quickly duck back, assuming that I'm being chased, but it turns out I'm not. But I know I was also fired upon from that doorway. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. I'm not exactly sure what I should be doing. So I reset, so I'm using cloak and run as a defensive ability there to get them out of the red and into the yellow to slow down their search, otherwise they'll be running at me as opposed to actively searching. We'll lob another intel grenade over to see what's going on. Alright, we've got company, this is going to be a problem. So at this point I decide I'm going to have to go fully loud and get some grenades in to help me out. And I noticed I was just about in the area of explosion there, so I run back for cover, but it turns out we're fine. There's a mine going off behind me and a dude coming around in front that didn't get caught by the grenade, so it's getting pretty busy. We have gone from red back to yellow again though, but we're still in a pretty high sense of alert. So just get a spot of them in night vision. Night vision, I swear, is just super useful in these types of engagements. So I know there's someone in there. And I just get lucky here. A mine goes off and I see his exclamation mark. So I haven't actually marked him at all. There he is, and managed to get him down. Cost me half my health, but we're okay. I go back and just reset a couple of mines just to make sure that we're not followed. They can miss mines, so the more you have, and then I spot motion down the hallway, so I'm a little bit unprepared here. So now we're getting into the M1911 doing its work. So just stop here for a listen, and these clears, your ears will do far more work than your eyes will sometimes, so just stopping for a listen. Okay, and I'm not hearing anything, so I'm just going to send the drone down because there's a lot of corners here that I just don't want to get caught on by surprise with. And it turns out there's only one guy waiting for me, so I'm just going to pop in to him, finish him off, and that means downstairs is clear. Historically, I've had a lot of trouble with this downstairs area because everyone is in such close quarters, but we got really fortunate with, there goes another mine behind us. We got quite fortunate with the couple of engagements we had with the pistol to take out, you know, quite a few enemies at once, so it really did help with this clear, and I'm not sure I could pull that off every time. There's definitely some luck involved in this one. Okay, so now we know that the bottom's clear, we're going to head right out the other side. So just stopping just to make sure there's no one hiding around there, and drop some more mines off. Because I didn't necessarily think I'd be followed there, but it also gave me somewhere where I could run and escape, slide down the stairs, which you do if you're running, and then if anyone was following me I could use that as a bit of an escape route. So I have a bit of a heavy droning session here because I really don't know who's left, and so I just kind of leaned on the drone a little bit. I try not to do that most of the time, but in this case, after this many pulls, I felt it was probably the right idea, just to make sure I could kind of know what was going on. And now I'm going to hit the power just to take out the grenade launcher and the mortar and the machine guns that are on the base. So from here, I got to clear this building. There's normally 2 guys in this building, but because the base is under alert, they've actually, turns out they have run out and aren't here, but I still needed to clear the place anyway to make sure that they weren't upstairs hiding. So I just tend to work all the rooms here, all the way up to the top and back down again, because I don't have the luxury of marking. When I'm in here with a marksman or with Sixth Sense, you can pretty quickly understand whether or not there's anyone in here or not, but I had to do it the hard way. While I'm up there, I actually spotted a guy on a roof across the way, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to solve this puzzle. There he is up there. So I figured I'd just use one of my sink shot drones. I didn't want the risk of him having the height advantage and climbing up a ladder and having him shooting me in the face while I was climbing the ladder. It just didn't seem like a good time, so I decided just to take him out remotely. Just another guy in this proximity here. We're going to take him out with CQC, and now we've got a bit of a problem because everyone over on that right hand side seems relatively tightly packed. So I'm kind of wondering what the heck I'm going to do there. So I thought I'd just delay that problem and head around the other side and clear out anyone else that was left down here. Turns out there was a couple of guys. So it was really an excuse to not have to deal with those guys up there while I cleared out these guys. I knew I was going to have to come and get them anyway, so while I'm formulating a plan, let's just clean up some of this mess down here. So here's where I think I've got things under control, but then I hear something. And those aren't coming from a direction where I've got marks, so I know there are unmarked enemies in the area here, which means suddenly my uncertainty levels are right back up to super high levels again, because I don't know how many guys are down here, which is a real problem. But I do know that I've got guys that are looking at the entrance to downstairs, so I figured I might as well engage them to at least draw everyone's attention, and then I can hopefully run the others off. Explosive experts is awesome here for the extra radius. It means that they're very unlikely to get out of that. And then I hear a bunch of footsteps and noise from places there where I didn't think there were bad guys, so I figured it was time just to retreat a little bit and try and get eyes on them just to get a sense of what was actually going on. So I hide behind the wall here, I think, and pop a drone up. Eventually, yeah, here we go. And here's where I get a bit of a fright, because we've really got company. So I'm feeling a little bit overconfident here because the run's gone relatively well. So I rock up here to try and engage. But it's just so overgrown with the mangrove roots. Can't get clear shots. As you'll see in a second, I can't really get grenades off. It was just a really bad idea. I should have just relocated and got out of there. It's not a great place to be engaging. I'm trying to get a grenade on there, but it's getting caught on the roots. I can't get it through to them. It's just a nightmare. And the trouble with that is they can actually see through those. So that grenade launch is a fail. So I hide behind this rock, but then they're going to start spotting me again. They really are starting to push me down the left hand side and to the right. I'm running out of options here, so eventually I decide to just pull the pin and crawl away like a crawling person. Here we go. I'm out. Peace out, boys. So I really felt like the run was starting to get away from me here, and the amount of times I've wiped on this challenge with only a few guys left, I was really starting to dread what might happen. So I decided to be far more cautious here and just reset everything, get back to first position and start again. So I hide back around the rock here and get a sense of where everyone's going, so I can get a sense that it's safe to re-engage. Normally when they push like this and then reset, they normally leave one or two guys behind. And so there's a guy here in this building here which has stayed behind, so I'm going to finish him off. I don't tend to like having a base white like this because it actually gets quite confusing with all of the dropped ammo and all of the other icons on the minimap. It's actually quite difficult to see sometimes where the enemies really are. The camp in a yellow state is actually far more easy to navigate, but it is what it is. So I'm just in two minds what to do here because I can't tell whether there's another guy in that bunker or not. And normally when the base is full there's two guys in there. So I'm just not sure where the other dude is, which is a bit of a problem. But as I approach, I can see that this guy's actually patrolling the outside, so I'll take him first and then worry about who's inside. So that's really, really handy. They normally do split and patrol, so one will walk around the outside while the other's inside. So there's either someone in there or there isn't, and it turns out there's not. Now this guy here's a problem. He's facing in my direction. There's really nowhere I can go apart from swimming around him, which I just can't be bothered doing. I do have a couple of spare drones, so I just take him out. Okay, now I'm running out of excuses. I really do need to start to engage the centre of the base. I've procrastinated really as long as I possibly can, even trying to pick up some loot just to delay myself from facing my fears. Because now the stakes are really, really high. Okay, the price of failure is a complete reclear. And so I'm really starting to panic a little bit. Well, not panic, but just the anticipation is super high. This guy's facing in exactly the wrong direction as well. So I'm going to use another drone on him. Just as I'm about to engage on that, I start getting spotted from behind, and it's really, really awkward. He's right there looking straight at me, can't believe it. So I have to engage him, which does deploy the drone, so that other guy's gone. But now the Melfast drone is onto me, which is super awkward. So he's going to come around. I'm running out of excuses to not engage him. And there's not enough guys around to really be too much of a threat. I go for the EMP grenades because you can actually kill them in one shot with an EMP grenade, provided they get caught in its sphere of influence, but he's just a little bit far away. So the grenade was positioned okay, but he was actually flying away from me there, so he actually flew out of its area of effect. You can see there he's miles away now. So I decided to just let the pistol do its work. Firing from the hip, it is terribly inaccurate, but we get the job done. Jump down and escape, because that explosion will draw a lot of attention. It's actually a bit of a benefit because that will draw guys out. So I quickly grab some shiny things and then try to be somewhere else because there's going to be guys coming to investigate that explosion. You can just see the movement there on the left, one guy coming through. And I was tempted to actually engage him, but I thought, hang on, I'll just wait for a second, and I'm glad I did, because here comes his mate. So I'll wait for another second just in case there's a third party coming, but no, I think we're okay, so we're going to head down and take out these two guys. I'm just hoping and hoping and hoping that this guy doesn't turn around and spot me. And he does. So let's go loud and engage him, which will draw the other guy back. I mean, that could have gone either way. Hipfire, there's no guarantee. You've got to get close for Hipfire to really be of any real danger. So I know that that's going to be drawing more people, if any, around to have a look. So I head back round and just wait and just see if there's somebody else going to come along it. Sure enough, here comes that little buddy. So he's going to run on down there and have a look. So I'm going to head on down and join him, and we'll have a conversation.
I got enemy contact! Over here!
Copy, let's smoke these guys!
Okay, we're running out of bad guys now. Unfortunately, two of them are shotgunners, and they are both together, which is super, super dangerous. And I'm lucky enough that I've managed to save 2 drones throughout this encounter, so I make a decision that it's just not worth the risk of engaging these guys. I'm just going to take them out on the spot. If they shoot you from behind, they'll kill you in 1 shot. If they shoot you from the front, they'll stun you and kill you in 2. So it's just not worth the risk at all. Especially not only being able to hip fire a pistol. I don't have any other weapon I can really use apart from grenades, and I've got other plans for those. So take them out with the drones and head around to clean out this last guy. Before I do, my paranoia is getting right up there. I just don't know if I'm alone. My fear is that I'm not, that there's more to the story than this guy. But either way, he's got to go, so here we go. Hear that? We're not alone. Oh crap. Now I'm really starting to be worried now, because I don't know where these guys are. I haven't spotted them. I've got no idea where they are, what's going on. So I head away and relocate, but I don't know where to relocate to, as long as it's anywhere other than over behind that building somewhere. I'm hearing voices from multiple locations. It's just not at all a good thing at all. So I retreat somewhere and get the drone into the action, and sure enough, there's a good few guys running in here to join the party. So we re-engage again, grab some grenades. I'm just over it. I just do not want to be engaging these guys face to face. They're close together. I do not have time to melee 2 of them at the same time, and I don't trust the pistols. So it's a matter of making a bit of a call here. Do I engage? Do I grenade? Let's take one out with a grenade for sure. Sweet. That gives us 1 left, which I'm pretty sure I can take out with the pistol. I'm not allowed to aim down sights for this challenge, so it has to be hip fire. So I'm going to wait for him to come to me. And there we go. Awesome. Awesome. So pretty pleased with myself here. That's a clear of the base according to the challenge. Oh crap, we're not alone. Again. So now I'm just like, oh really? You gotta be kidding me. So I try and find a safe place, even though I don't know where this guy is, like where could possibly be safe. So then I think, well hang on a second, why don't I just get my drone out, have a bit of a look around. I can't find him, I really don't know where he is, so I'm thinking, well I might just make him come to me. Now what could possibly be a good distraction? Cool. Now my question is, what direction is he coming from? So I hear him there, get my drone out to take a look. Sure enough, last guy left. I pull out the rocket launcher, but now I think, you know what, let's finish this challenge in style. Let's finish the challenge as we were supposed to with the 1911. Mano a mano, let's do this. Last guy in the base. How's it gonna go? Ah, damn, he saw me. It was really not good. Ah, messy finish to an awesome challenge. So that is it, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. If you got this far, I'm assuming you enjoyed it. So please come by my stream on Mondays and Thursday nights. I'll leave the link to that in the description.